Quynh, what do we know about Chin?
Hi. Yes, the biggest headline we just had is the nomination of a little-known to the world official Pham Minh Chinh to the country's new prime minister. Chinh, who is 63 years old, is the only candidate for the premier position, and he is head of the party's Central Committee's Organization Commission and also a member of the nation's powerful Anti-Corruption Steering Committee. He also served as Deputy Minister of Public Security before. The National Assembly is, expected to vote on Chinh to become the country's next prime minister later in the day. While one-party system relies on collective decision-making, the prime minister is, in a sense, the face of the government. He oversees allocation of funds and is the most hands-on leader when it comes to implementing laws. The prime minister is the leader investors look to in order to gauge the direction of government policy.
So Quynh, how does that actually then sit with the whole notion of collective leadership? I mean, is it just lip service to collective leadership? Can you explain all this for us?
Yes, the country leadership has what it is called a four-pillar structure made of the Communist Party General Secretary, President, Prime Minister, and Chair of the National Assembly. These four leaders govern in consultation with the 18-member Politburo, of which they are part of. General Secretary Nguyen Xuan Quynh was elected to a rare third term by the National Party Congress in January. And last week, former Deputy Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh was selected as chair of the National Assembly, while Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Quynh had just elected to become the country's president about an hour ago.
When once a new leadership is in place, do observers expect any major policy shifts?
Yeah, so the most economic strategy and foreign policy has already been set and remain the same. The nation will continue seeking further integration into the global economy, while virus containment and economic recovery amid global pandemic are still among government's priorities. The new leaders will, also have to carefully position Vietnam between China and the U.S., its two most important trading partners, as tension between the global powers increase. The U.S. is Vietnam's largest export market, and its global trade surplus has triggered concern in the U.S. Like the Trump administration, the Bidens has expressed concern over how Vietnam manages its currency. Vietnam consistently says it doesn't use the exchange rate to create an unfair competitive advantage in international trade. And last week, after a virtual meeting between the U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai and Vietnam's Trade Minister, the Vietnamese government said that it and the U.S. will continue to actively cooperate to comprehensively address current concerns to maintain stable trade relations. Meanwhile, the Vietnamese leaders will also have to continue grappling with territorial tensions with China in the South China Sea, as China supplies critical materials and equipment to Vietnamese factories.